between the snow-tipped peaks of the Himalayas, lived an old monk named Ryosen. He was known for his laughter, the kind that echoed through the valleys like music from the heart of peace itself. But Ryosen had not always been peaceful. Once, even he had struggled with attachment to things, to people, to moments. And this is the story of how a single broken cup changed his entire life. Every morning, Ryosen would sit by the window of his small room, hands wrapped around his favorite cup of tea. It wasn't made of gold or silver, just simple clay, but it was his. Warm, comforting, familiar. He would often whisper, "Even the tea tastes wiser from this cup." One day, as a young student named Kaito entered to clean the room, his elbow brushed against the table, and the cup fell. It shattered into 1,000 tiny pieces. For a moment, silence filled the room. Kaito's heart froze. He bowed deeply, trembling. "Master, I'm so sorry. I will find you another cup." But Ryosen just stared at the pieces and smiled. He whispered, "Ah." So it was time for the cup to die. That evening, the entire monastery was buzzing. "How can the master be so calm?" one novice whispered. Another said, "It was his favorite thing. He must be heartbroken." But Ryosen continued his routine, as if nothing had happened. Days turned into weeks. Then one morning, he called all his students to the meditation hall. In front of them, he placed a new cup, identical to the old one. He lifted it, smiled, and said, "Every morning, when I drink from this cup, I tell myself, this cup is already broken. And because I know it's already broken, I can enjoy it more, love it fully, and when it's gone, I won't suffer." The students were puzzled. One of them asked, "Master, if we treat everything as already gone, how do we ever love?" Ryosen chuckled. "Ah, that's where you misunderstand. You love deeper, not shallower, because now you're not holding on in fear. You're holding on in gratitude." He paused, then looked toward the mountains. When you stop clinging, you stop suffering. Love does not mean possession. It means appreciation. Years passed. Kaito, the student who had broken the cup, grew into a wise monk himself. One day, during a storm, the monastery's roof cracked open. The sacred statues were damaged, scrolls were soaked. Panic spread among the monks. But Kaito sat in silence, smiling faintly, and the young monks asked him, "Why aren't you upset, Master Kaito?" He replied softly, "Because I once broke my master's cup, and learned that nothing truly breaks. It only changes form." The monks didn't understand at first, but over the years, they saw what he meant. The monastery was rebuilt, the damaged scrolls were rewritten, and the storm became another story of strength. Before his death, Ryosen wrote one final line on the wall of his chamber. "Everything you love, you will lose. But love anyway. That's where freedom lives." When the young monks found it, they bowed in silence. No one cried, because they knew their master had already taught them how to let go. The cup was never just a cup. It was a mirror, showing the truth of our lives. Everything we hold, people, moments, dreams, will one day fall, fade, or change. But if we can smile through it, we have learned the essence of peace. Because peace is not in what we hold, but in how we let go. This was The Monk and the Broken Cup, a story about letting go, loving deeply, and living freely. If this story brought you peace, remember to share it with someone who needs calm today. And if you walk the path of wisdom, like, share, subscribe, and join us again, here on Life Sutra.